Patreon member shoutout. It's the same old thing since 2018. In your head, they are crying with their tanks and their bombs and their drones and their guns in your head. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. I guess it's going to be a Doctor Strange MCU tie-in as well, because we have the Eye of Agamotto, and I will get to that later in this video. But before we start, we do have a couple of things of news to go over, many of which I think people would be very happy about. It was advertised on the Batcowl's Twitter, and it was also advertised on the Batcowl's Discord, I think after some relentlessness of the Veve fan, Veve community, so give yourselves a round of applause for that. They had kind of keeled over, showed their belly a little bit, and said, Veve is another fantastic partner of ours, and they were indeed our first in the space via DC Direct. Talking about WB and DC. Says, we also have great partnerships for DC IP with Hero and Funko. Obviously, a lot of the Veve fam is already in Hero, and I think there's a couple of friends of mine that had gotten the Batcowl this morning, so kudos to them. Said, the DC fan base is massive, and we want to make sure every fan is able to find their favorite way to engage, or all of them. The Batcowl program and the larger NFT.dcuniverse.com ecosystem was designed from the ground up to be a new fan platform that can fully leverage the technology and opportunity that NFTs and Web3 represent. It's very different than our other offerings to date, and we are excited for everyone to see what we have in store. So I kind of do give respect to the ones that came before, such as Veve, heard it from the horse's mouth, but they also did give a spin saying this is something that they're doing that none of the other things before have in them. I think they were talking about Hero and Veve specifically. I think they also had that other thing with the DC, with the floppy disk, which I don't know if anyone really knows or cares about, but so they made a point to try to be in all avenues. They're in cards, they're in premium digital collectibles, they're in something that they want to have, the roadmap for it for 3 years for the cows. They want to have utility for it almost right away. So whoever's getting those, good for you. They'll probably be very, very rare one day, because I don't see 200,000 of these selling out, especially at 300 a pop or 200 a pop, whatever they're at. And whatever they don't sell, they're going to burn. So you're probably, short term, I don't know what they're going to be worth. Long term, probably a decent bet. Moving on past that. About 24 hours ago, Shaquille O'Neal, aka Shaq, also I see Shaquille Oatmeal over in the comments, so shout out to you because I thought of you when I saw him. He said that it's not about buying JPEGs. It's about intellectual property that those JPEGs stand for, and how it's only a matter of time that big brands adapt those IPs. So the comments were flooded with people with red circles in their name trying to get Shaq to be like, hey, look at that Veve, look at all this Disney stuff that they have, and DC and Marvel. And of course I had to go on and say, I agree with you, big man, saying I'd love to get you on the podcast. Comment down below if you'd love to see Shaq on the podcast. I think that'd be really great. His one of his records just got broken recently. Not a good one. It was one that was like, I think he held the record for like 0 out of 10 free throws for the beginning of the game, like missed, and someone just like broke it. So Shaq no longer holds that record, which I think he's probably happy to let it go. So burning. Ray Fixie says, since the bot issue has now been resolved, when is it time to burn our NFT on Veve Official? Alert me once that's about to pop. High time to take away supplies from the visionless, since they don't appreciate these beautiful masterpieces on Veve. That's where the real fun begins. So shots fired from Ray Fixie. Has one of the biggest accounts on Veve Official, and he's not the only person to go and say, yeah, I want to burn things. Like Dr. Prophet has said he wants to burn half of the circulating supply of any one thing, which is going to be nuts. And they could do it. Also, excuse my appearance. I just came back from a run, so I'm a little bit sweaty. As far as him saying like visionless, so I don't know if he's going to burn grails. Like if he burned a bunch of like uncommon Tobies, I don't think too many people would care. But if he's going to burn something that people really like I know he's got more secret rare alligator Lokis than me. If he decides to be like, you know what, people don't appreciate these enough, and just burn. And Reese had told me when I had asked him, wouldn't it be cool if you were able to enable notifications so that when something's burned, you get a notification? Just like when somebody is eliminated from the Hunger Games, you hear a loud bang, and then their face is up in the skylight. I think that'd be pretty cool if suddenly you get a notification like, oh my god, 3 secret rare alligator Lokis were just burned. Or just to troll, if there's only 7 of these Aston Martins in the world, only 7 of these, James Bond tickets, and then boom, one of them gets burned. Or a Donnie. I feel like a lot of new people don't even know about Donnie because they're something, an old relic that you were only able to get last year. Like impossible to get now. So anyway, moving on from that, we do have the Todd Father says, having a little fun, saying nothing says you appreciate these beautiful masterpieces more than burning them. I thought that was pretty funny. But like Vision said, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. And speaking of Vision, this is a beautiful segue. Vision is alive. If anyone, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Spoilers, if you haven't seen WandaVision, there's a version of Vision that is still alive. He's known as White Vision. And the reason I bring him up is because there's a decent chance he shows up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Why? Because that was Wanda's love. And Marvel actually started tweeting out again, saying, quote, "The Eye of Agamotto is able to control the flow of time, and tomorrow you can grab 3 collectible rarities of this artifact in blind box." This matters. Am I Adam Balin talking to Kyle Traer? Because I want you to remember this moment. And these moments beyond, as I talk about the Eye of Agamotto. Yes, got the time stone in it, is one of the most beautiful thing. Where does Doctor Strange get his power? Well, he looks at the Book of Vishanti. And what is the Book of Vishanti? Well, it represents the Vishanti. It's 3 gods that are in a different dimension over us. And I do have some reading material on them. I just did a quick Google of them because I kind of forgot their names. Obviously, Agamotto being one of them, and he's got the eye of him. And Agamotto was Sorcerer Supreme before Doctor Strange, but he is not like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange started off as human, and he, became a doctor, more specifically a surgeon, and then after a horrendous accident destroying his fingers, he was, and I love how they put the scars on his fingers still, in the rest of the movies. I think that's really great attention to detail. Anyway. What happens with that is he learns to become Sorcerer Supreme because he has an eidetic memory. He can go and read things once, and he can learn that really quickly. He can learn spells 10 times faster than normal people. But, that being said, Agamotto is kind of like Thor because Thor was born a god. He didn't have to really learn how to be that. He inherited his powers from Odin. Agamotto, same thing, did not need to train to become Sorcerer Supreme, really. He had to train to learn how to become human. He is the son of Ashtar, who is another group member of the Vishanti. And last but not least, you have Hogarth, who is the coolest cat ever. I don't even know if it's a tiger or whatever. Those are the trio that make up the Vishanti, where Doctor Strange gets his power. So I think, in just my opinion, that they could do a couple of things with this, and they might do all of them. I think either we get more time stones, or we get more infinity stones before we get anything else. And I think that would go over the course of the next year or so, being able to go this and that. And they did say in May we're going to have a bunch of crazy, exciting things. So, and this is still technically April, so it's going to be May. It's about movie season. It's about starting up. I think this is actually the thing that'll kick off movie season for movie theaters. But if they decide to kind of belay that and put that on the back burner, then you might be able to see actual Agamotto. You might be able to see Hogarth, and you might also be able to see Ashtar. I think a lot of, and they're kind of they might even show up in the movie as well, because they're kind of the sworn enemies of chaos magic, something like you would see in the Doctor Strange of the What If series, or what Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, is turning into. So this is really, really interesting in the way that they could go and do so many things with this in the Veve universe. Could you imagine that in the Veve-verse, one of the best, most effective, if there's bosses there, somebody's attacking Veve City, take your Marvel Mighties and go out and try to fight it. But if you have the Time Stone, that makes you most effective against it. That would be great if we could see a civil war, if we could see giant gods, literally gods, fighting on that Veve-verse playing field. I think that'd be really cool. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashy. Bye-bye, Dashy. And everyone, please check out at HeyDavidDon, at KingMavsForever over on the Twitter, Standoff Chart and King Mavs over on the Veve app, Kobe Collects and Homie Player 1 over on the YouTube, WraithX.eth domain name. You got Kyle Willson, Wendy Stibalis, Veve Las Vegas, Taps Trades, Mars Davis, Legacy Bermuda, Sody Pop Media, The Gale, Veve Darklink, and Veve Vibes all on the YouTube. Then you got at Wet Wizard Veve and Gario at 1234CA3 on the Twitter. Yes, I follow every single one of these peeps. I love you. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.